All right, so we're here day before first big trees come in. Tomorrow, second full weekend with the setup crew. Again, as I mentioned, very experienced crew, so we're lucky to have that. But let's walk through some of the improvements that we made from when we first looked at the boards on the ground. This will get a fresh coat of paint here, and we'll introduce you to the painters in a second. This becomes the Wreath board. New for this year, we're gonna make basically a tunnel and shade this, and then we'll show you how we display the small, or what we call a tabletop Christmas tree down this. Last year we put them out in the open, got some sun on them, and because they're so small, we've got minor burning. So just every year is a little bit of an improvement, not major brain surgery, if you will, but just little tweaks every year. The wreaths will get down on these tables that have been recycled year over year, but you'll see how we display them. Everyone is priced individually, so there's no question on how much they cost, and it becomes a really nice, unique shopping experience. This, again, some touch-up paint from Steve-O here. We're painted, so the second, third year, it's just touch-up. It goes much quicker. This will become checkout counter. And this year, we're using a new POS, and I can't remember, very similar to the restaurants. I'll get the name and who that outfit is, but it seems we can also clock in and out our team, so everything's digitized, and we get a nice report at the end of the day, how many wreaths, how many trees, what size, so definitely an improvement there. Jake, come on over here. So Jake is my nephew, and he is fourth generation here. Today he's on touch-up duty. He had an ACL, very similar age, a tear that I've got in football. So apple doesn't fall far from the tree in this family. Say a few words about what Christmas means to you, man.
I mean, it's been a tradition for a long time. I just want to help where I can and keep it going, and even hopefully inherit the tradition when he's a little bit too old to run it himself.
When I'm like Grandpa,
Yep.
and I'll be pointing like he does.
Yep.
But we keep on getting the wisdom, and really it's the passion and making people happy, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Jake, we're here. We got the tent up this week. First thing, obviously, we've got to get the lights in. Trees will start to get in the water tomorrow, but tell us what the stand straight and the bowls do for the tree.
So the stand straight, we drill holes into the bottom of the tree, and we're able to put them on top of this, and the bowls just keep them fed. We just give them water, whatever else they need for.
So how often are we giving them water?
We give them water every night, right before we leave, and then we close up, and they get watered every night.
And then before we open, we spritz them down and make sure if they're drinking really quick, we fill up the bowls with water. So as soon as they come off the truck, and we'll show you how we do this, we give a fresh cut, we put it on the shaker, any of that inside needles come off, right?
Yep.
And then we put them right into the water. So it's basically like a cut flower. A lot of people know how to treat a cut flower, but it's a little bit different with the Christmas tree. Not everyone does this technique, but with nice fresh cut, starts to drink, and it's constantly drinking in water. So that's the beauty of the bowl system. So I think buyer beware, or if you're in retail, if you're not putting them into water, especially in the southern states, they can really dry out quick. This way, what do we hear a lot of our clients say, how come the tree's so heavy as compared to the one I got from Home Depot last year? Well, because it's hydrated, right? Water costs or weighs a lot more, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's go over and look at the shaker and check on the guys. They're finishing off the final stalls of the shades, so we're really happy about our progress on the third day of the complete setup crew on the weekends. All right, so I think it's also important, Jake, let's look at the two different type of stand straights. Here, we've got the original model, which are basically 2x6s made out of wood, versus the rebar. Pros and cons of both. I think we can put a bigger tree on the wooden ones, right?
Yes.
Smaller trees on the rebar. Pluses of the rebar, they stack really nice. The wooden ones take up a little bit more space, and obviously wood over time can rot, but really it's the weight of the wood. But these probably have lasted, they were up in Rockaway at the original tree lot. They're probably, some of them are 20 years old, but every year we try to swap out 5 to 10 of them. That way it's not a major expense. And we keep on bringing more of the rebar ones. But let's go over to the baler system and the shaker, and we'll let young Jake here explain actually the drill, the baler, and the shaker. That's the trifecta. So the trees are going to come off of the truck, get sorted according to size. They'll get tagged. And Jake, let's go over there and look at the shaker and explain what we do with that.
So the shaker, it's self-explanatory. We just put the stump right in the middle of here, lift it up. You have somebody just turn it on. You hold it there for 15, 20 seconds, get all the extra needles out. Sometimes more or less 30, close to like 30, 40, depending on how long it's been here and how many dead needles there are. And then over by the drill over here, when we first get them, we give them a fresh cut first, but then you go to the drill. This is where you drill the hole to put them in the stands, and you would just turn it on and then just slowly like push it up like this until you reach about there, and then your hole's fully drilled.
And we'll show this in motion as the trees come. Then they get right into the water as we discuss. And now when the customer comes and picks out the perfect tree for their family, you just do it in rewind. Other than the drill, we'll put another fresh cut on it, right?
Put a fresh cut, goes into the shaker, and then we go into the baling system, and it goes into netting, and then we put it on top of their car and tie it down.
And we'll show this all live. Quick update on the progress. All we've got to do, because we've got a western facing stall system here, we'll put a face shade cloth here so that way everything is protected. Whereas if we look up to the south, the way we're situated here, we don't need shade cloth in the front because at zero time, the way it's engineered or designed, will sun shine in there. So always we're careful about where we're going to get sunburn. Let's take a look at the hat. 1967.
Yep.
Awesome to have you around another year.
Of course.
And we keep on moving and shaking. It's going to be showtime before we know it.
Yes, sir.